Hey guys, just wanted to prelude this video with an intro. This is a live stream that took place earlier today on my friend PokevSim's channel. It involves other Twitch streamer friends and content creator friends. We're all talking about some pretty big issues that are at hand with Logan Paul going to Twitch and Ninja on Twitch with Drake and other things pertaining to Twitch. And if you're mainly a YouTube person or you like both or one more over the other, whatever it may be, it's a very interesting video. If you guys are new to me, my name is Josh. I'm the 4th Gen Gamer and I do run this YouTube channel. It's a Pokemon YouTube channel that has just about, at the time of this video, 55,000 subscribers, and I also run a Twitch stream that I am partnered on. So I have a good grasp on both YouTube and Twitch, both of them mean to me, and a lot of the changes that have been happening on both of them. So with that, I hope that you enjoy this video, this sort of a collaboration, bringing together a bunch of other creators with some different mindsets on our thoughts on Logan Paul, Ninja, all these other crazy things that are happening, because the digital scene is changing pretty quickly, and it's really interesting. So, hope you do enjoy this. This was streamed, like I said, on PokevSim's channel. Check his channel out, it is down below. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and those of you guys that already may watch me, y'all already know. Woo! We got the bell. Give me that hashtag notification squad in the comment section if you are on it, and I hope you enjoy this video. Peace.
Well, here we are. Here are our guests. Everybody say hi. I guess I'll start. If anybody is coming in for the first time, if you saw any tweets or something, hello, I'm Kevin, broadcaster here on Twitch that does a lot of Nintendo variety, but prioritizes Pokemon, Smash, and Splatoon. We'll just go down the line. Josh, introduce yourself.
You actually did Comic Sans, holy
I did!
Hello everyone, I am the 4th Gen Gamer, but you guys can call me Josh. I stream Pokemon and a little bit of variety, and I have a YouTube channel that I run that's at like almost 56,000 subscribers, so I dabble a lot in both YouTube and Twitch, so hopefully I can provide a good point of view.
Alright, Natty.
Hi, what's up guys? I'm Natty Chan, but you can just call me Natty. I'm a Pokemon and variety caster here on Twitch, and I do have a YouTube. It's almost at 10K. It's not as cool as Josh's, but I'm trying.
Alright. Zeke.
Hi, I'm Zeke. Some of you in the Smash community might know me as Coach Zeke. I mostly stream random Pokemon, like randomizers and JRPGs, but I also stream Smash sometimes. Most of my time is usually gone to Twitch for Smash 4 and the competitive scene.
Alright. Sam.
Yo, I'm called The Mounting. Some people call me Ting or Sam. I stream pretty pure variety, but I do like to focus more on Nintendo games. Been on Twitch for about a year and a half now, and I do try at YouTube, but mainly focus on Twitch.
Alright, and Blarg.
I'm the Bearded Blarg. I'm primarily a Pokemon caster that's going to be soon diving and taking the deep plunge into lots of VR gaming. Oh yeah.
Alright, cool. So yeah, basically this is a collection of content creators. We actively use this website a lot, so obviously we pay attention. I would hope most of us pay attention to a lot of the things that have been going on. It's exciting, it's scary, it's a lot of things are going to be happening that we don't know, so we just kind of want to exchange thoughts and opinions and share them with the people that spend a lot of time on the site, whether you stream yourself or whether you just watch, but what kind of impacts it has on us and just like how we feel about it. It's really cool, so let's just jump right into it with Logan Paul making a Twitch account, already getting 100,000 followers. I'm sure if anybody, I think he's at 200K now, yeah? Last we checked. Which is insane. And for anybody that lives in a dark alley, he, at the start of this year, really did some bad things that we can unanimously agree are not good. Had a lot of impact on how YouTube chooses to handle issues and stuff like that. So he's a character. So we'll start with Josh. What are your thoughts on him being on Twitch and just his presence? What is it going to bring to the table? What's going to happen?
So first of all, I just want to say thank you, Kev, for graciously allowing me to upload this to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, go and follow Kev, PokevSim. Link is down below. Want to give that credit. Make sure you guys go follow because that's where this is originally sourced from. So thank you, I appreciate it. But obviously not a very good thing, because YouTube and Twitch are two completely different animals in terms of just the style of content they lend themselves to, especially the last year or two, just in general, but especially the last year or two. YouTube has become very, very sensational. Even the way that I go about my content, it's a lot more sensational in nature with like thumbnails and titles. And to get people interested in a YouTube video, there's so many more YouTube videos out there. So you really need to like be out there and do something really crazy. And then you get a lot of these really insane, outlandish things that your Jake Paul, Logan Pauls, your Viners that are coming over to YouTube. They do things that are a lot more on that sensational end, which are not a good thing. That's one of the things that YouTube outlined in one of their policies was, you know, doing things that are sensational are not good, and that's not very advertiser friendly. And Twitch, to get people to like your content, it's a lot more community oriented. It's community oriented. It's a lot more engagement oriented, and you'll find more people that are a little more wholesome, a little bit less sensational. You need to have people watch the entire time, not just click on a video. The style of content is much more different, and now Twitch is getting a lot bigger. You have some of these more sensational people coming over, like Logan Paul. I think it's I mean, obviously, I think we all think it's a bad thing, but I think that it could lead to a very bad trend where not only Logan Paul will come over, but more of your insane creators that don't go by the book, the people that they make vlogs of like shipping themselves across to another country, like in a tub across the ocean, when obviously they don't do that, but they do it because it's sensational and like batshit crazy. Hopefully we don't see that trend come over to Twitch, but if more Logan Pauls come over, it's a bad sign of things to come.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is that all? Anything else to add?
Without violating terms of service, no, I'm good.
Okay. Natty, thoughts?
I can see some good in it. I mean, Logan Paul coming over is going to bring a really big influx of people, which could go very well. I also worry, though, because he does tend to have a younger audience, and TOS does say you have to be 13 to be on Twitch. So I am kind of worried about what it's going to do to other communities, because obviously one community never stays within itself. It always spreads. So I'm really worried about younger people coming over from him and kind of immersing themselves in other communities where they're probably like, you know, 10, 11, 9-year-olds with Twitch accounts saying they're 13, and how that's going to affect the dynamic of a lot of communities. As far as Logan actually on Twitch, I don't really see it lasting, because it's a lot different to be a YouTuber and have, you know, 20 hours to edit yourself and edit your video and have it come out the exact way you want, than to sit there and do 8 hours with the same energy all the time, constantly.
Okay. I like those thoughts. So far, good stuff. All right, Zeke.
All right, so there are really good things and really bad things that come with it, and that's what I believe. I think it's really good that we're going to get more people. The problem is most of them aren't educated on how to behave properly and look to him as a role model. And one of the things that I've seen a lot of people talk about is like, this can be an opportunity for him to show that maybe he's grown up a little bit, which would be amazing. I don't see that being very likely, but it would be amazing to see him grow up and educate these kids that are going to follow him to this website and grow up. And as well as even expand his own thing, is instead of just doing crazy stupid things on YouTube, but getting into games. Like he said he wants to stream Fortnite, obviously because Ninja's doing it and stuff like that, and it's working for him. But maybe when he actually does it, he'll be like, wow, this is really cool, and like branch out from there. And that's something that can be really great for Twitch as a whole, because unfortunately he's a very powerful brand, and how he uses it is really what's the word that I use? It's really impactful, because it can hurt a lot of people or help a lot of people very, very easily. Because if he says something bad, because of the way his viewers are, you know, he can break TOS and flame somebody off the site, and before they can do anything about it, that person will already have quit. And that's something that's really scary that can happen. But that's really my main thing, is I'm just worried how he's going to use his viewers, hopefully in a mature way.
All right. Yeah, I like what you brought up with Ninja. Like he's doing it because Ninja's doing it. I'm just gonna add in one thought before we get to Sam, but My thought was that the day after, or 2 days after Drake was on Ninja's stream, is when the Low Gang, hundreds of thousands of them, go over to Twitch and follow Logan's account that he just made. Like, I don't know. It's obvious to me why he's on, but we'll get into the why versus, you know, what do you think because he's on. We'll get to that after, but yeah, mounting, your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed. It's both good and bad. I mean, I've had really bad experiences in YouTube comments. I've had bad experiences in Twitch. It's kind of more so in YouTube than Twitch. Yeah, it depends like how they are. Definitely the age thing, because we've obviously had every now and then someone comes in, they say they're too young, and you're like, well, what the hell? I'm supposed to report you, and it could be a real messy situation. It's all about how they transition, how they act on other channels. We never know how they're going to be, because the portion of people that comment could be very few, and obviously usually the people who aren't nice in chats are in the minority. It's just, yeah, I don't mind him because more publicity is good. At least it's bringing more people's attention to Twitch, because Twitch is becoming more mainstream. It's become more seen as a competitor. So I see more benefits than downsides, because I do think that the overall positivity of Twitch as a whole will outweigh, and maybe even embrace some of them and get them used to the community spirit that we do have. You know, the whole bleed purple, and I think overall it'd be a good thing. I can see bad things as well, but I don't think it outweighs the good. That's my opinion, really.
Okay. Blarg.
Well. There's kind of a lot to talk about, though, isn't there? I mean, like, just with this entire situation, because, I mean, number one, we have a YouTuber who was originally a Viner coming over to our platform and, you know, making this huge statement, bringing a lot of his followers and, you know, subscribers on over, which can translate into, of course, a lot more people using the platform, which can be a good thing, but I kind of have a little bit of an opposing viewpoint on that, because from what I understand, when it comes to the Low Gang, they're very loyal, right? These people only come over to Twitch to use Twitch because of Logan Paul. So at the end of the day, they're only going to be here for him. They're not going to expand. They're not going to go outside of their comfort zone. And we're talking for like the majority of the people that watch Logan Paul, right? Because especially if it's, dare I say, kids, yeah, gaming's cool, gaming's awesome, but who's to say they're going to stick around? I mean, we have no way of knowing till it actually happens, until he does that first stream. And as far as like the people saying, well, he should be off the platform or whatever, I have a feeling that at the end of the day, when it all boils down to it, and I'm not saying anything bad, Logan Paul has a way of putting his foot in his mouth with various situations. So if anyone's worried about the direction, you know, which it's going to take the platform, I say there's a possibility he may just kind of screw it up for himself. So, I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, that was it. Any added thoughts? Okay. So basically, just to like sum everything up, going off of everybody's points, I think that like we're talking about like, oh, we haven't seen what's happened yet. I think we kind of already have gotten a taste of it by just, if you click on his channel and see the chat already, there's already a lot of yikes going on. Like, that's just a little sign of what is to come, you know? Like, you could argue, oh, it's probably just people that use Twitch already, just like trolling, but, you know, people wanting to do shitty things for the sake of doing shitty things is sort of what he breeds, from what I've seen. He is the example he sets is what his audience is. I'm not saying they're all gonna go to Japan and film these things, like, and do those things. They're not necessarily gonna go to that level, like actually acting in real life, but the things that they say on the internet, like the kind of comments you get just looking in his comment section, the kind of worship that he has is interesting. He's at the level of a celebrity, whether we like it or not. And it's it's interesting to think about, like the kind of people that will just say things just because they can. You know, people always say Twitch chat versus YouTube comment section. Making a lot of YouTube comment sections in a bunch of the top streams, there's already a little bit of that, but to have like a lot more of that, already 200,000 plus more of that, is really scary, and we've already seen a little bit of it. So I'm just interested to see how he would handle it should Twitch allow him to stream, and what the result of it would be like, you know, bleeding into other chats and stuff like that. You know, I think most of us can agree though, like obviously more eyes on Twitch is a good thing. Not all the people that pay attention to him deeply are bad people. You know, I only started paying attention to him and his brother a lot, and seeing a lot of what they've done because of the bad things he did. Like I started to notice like Jake putting out like a good video recently only because Logan did a shitty thing 3 months ago. So controversy brings attention from good and bad people. So yeah, hopefully the good people do stick around. And you know, there was one thing Summit said that you know, not every party needs to have a lot of people, but you know, that's why you have a bouncer. So yeah, all right.
Mind if I chime in on that real quick?
Yeah.
I think the most important thing that can be done is when he does that first stream to watch it, and not just people that want to watch him, but everyone go watch it, not for the sake of just, oh, let's see what he does or whatever, but to have as many eyes as possible on him from both Twitch staff, other creators and everything, because the last thing we need is a situation where he does something really bad or does like kind of on the fine line and just it's ignored. And that's why it's the most important thing to do is to watch his first stream and make sure that he behaves. Like, as dumb as that sounds, like if we want to make sure our site stays the place that we enjoy, that we love, and want to help keep chats like that, we need to bring positivity to that. We need to be there as not only people to be like, hey, like, why are you guys doing this? Obviously in a 200,000 person chat, that's almost impossible, but especially Twitch staff, like one of the best things they can do is be there to help and control the noise, because, you know, that's their job. And that's what we need to do, is minimize the toxicity. And that's the end goal always. And we also can play a role in that too, by moderating, just by viewing.
Yeah. Very, very wise words. It seems to have resonated with a lot of people too. So nice, good job. Now the last thing I want to talk about with Logan that I briefly brought up that I said we'd get back to is, why did he make a Twitch account? What are his motivations? Is this his chance to sort of break in a new pair of shoes, or is it money? Is it because, you know, he's worried about YouTube suspending his ads again because he makes a bad joke that doesn't translate well, or because he just can't control his impulses and he's gonna go tase another rat? Like, what's gonna happen? What is the real reason he wants to do this? My wishful thinking is that he really wants to breathe new air and sort of rebrand and try something else out. It might just be as simple as, oh, I want to play Fortnite live and I don't think YouTube is as sustainable, you know, but I'm still going to be me. And then that celebrity presence being on Twitch is certainly interesting. But yeah, what is it? Let's go the other way around. What do you think, Blarg?
Okay, so let's be honest. Every Logan Paul video, whether you've watched one because of, you know, controversy or whatever, he's always plugging his merch. There's a lot of talk that his merch sales are kind of dwindling. So that's with the whole Drake thing and Ninja, and the fact that his merch sales are falling and are in decline are two big reasons for him to come over to Twitch to make an extra buck. So, like, maybe he's trying to just do something extra. Who knows? This may be just like a temporary thing for him, just to kind of get the ball rolling again. But I don't know. At the end of the day, we'll see. And, oh man, it's just, like, what I personally think is, I think he's here just, like, his merch sales are probably down. You know, he saw he sees what Ninja does. He sees how much money Ninja makes, especially after playing with Drake. It became super popular. So he's trying to ride that bandwagon, get everybody on board, and just see what he can make out of it.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, I think the main motivator really is the money, because I just put a link for everyone in our chat as well. I just show, because they did quite a few measures against him. YouTube did after his last controversy. They took him away from his Red series. They took away from Google Preferred. I think they cut his ad revenue in half, his AdSense in half. So, and a lot of people are moving over to Twitch anyway. Just not so many people of his notoriety are moving. Is now moving over, because I've seen quite a few. I watch quite a few YouTubers who've all moved now to Twitch because they see it as obviously the community, but more of a. I'd say like the whole paying for subbing and everything's all like more ingrained. Whereas like I always felt that YouTube Red, where people pay $5 a month or $6 for their videos, is way less common, way less seen, and it's definitely just, I think it's just a pure money move. As he said, he can plug his merch. He can have panels, which always advertise underneath there as well. And he can just say it whenever he wants. So he just say, "Hey, check out my merch," and click below. Here it is, right there, live. Yeah, I don't think there's anything other than that behind it. I mean, obviously, he's got more than enough money, and he's just wanted to seek to keep his business going. And I'm surprised he hasn't already done it, to be quite honest.
All right.
Okay.
Zeke.
The name of the game is longevity. How long can you keep making money in a sustainable fashion and milk something as long as possible? That happens in video games, that happens in the music industry, entertainment industry as a whole is all about longevity. How long can you make it last? And what he's now realizing is that his longevity, not only because of the stupid stuff that he's been doing on YouTube and all of that, but YouTube as a whole, like as a base, is declining in like the monetary value. And like Blarg brought up, like his merch has dropped in sales dramatically. And that is a thing that has been going through the grapevine through YouTube for a while now. And it was just the waiting game. What is he going to do next? Is he going to pull up the Patreon? And a lot of people talked about that. And I myself run a Patreon, and it's a great website. They're very serious about making sure that you do not do anything bad by abusing their platform. And so I'm pretty sure he's going to be avoiding that unless he fails at Twitch. And that's why he's going to Twitch, because it's easier. It's as simple as just going. I mean, have any of you guys watched Ninja? All he does is say Twitch Prime once a day, and then he gets 100-something thousand plus subs right then. If you remember the end of last month, one of the best times to mention Twitch Prime as a caster is on the first day of the month and the last day of the month, because that is when most people happen to have it. And on the last day of February was when he like boomed, because he literally brought up, "Oh, hey guys, like, we should all, use your Twitch Prime however you like, whatever." Like, he just brought it up casually. And for 15 minutes straight, his chat was literally just so-and-so subscribe to Twitch Prime, so-and-so subscribe to Twitch Prime, straight. Ninja brought up in his interview that Twitch Prime is one of the greatest tools because anyone who uses Amazon gets it. And so many people, so many kids' parents, that they don't care about Twitch, so they just link it up with their parents' account, and it's just free money for Logan. Why would he not do it? It's genius, and it's so easy. It's clicking 3 buttons, you're synced and you've subbed, and you just do it once a month. So it's definitely for the money, and it's gonna last if he does it right.
All right. Natty.
I'm right along with everyone else. I think it's for the money. Logan Paul was not the maybe necessarily the biggest factor, but he's one of the biggest factors contributing to the YouTube adpocalypse. So he's essentially shot himself in the foot on YouTube multiple times now, and he needs a new source of revenue and income, and Twitch is a great place to do it because, kind of touching on the Patreon thing, he'd have to censor himself a lot on Patreon, and I think he's hoping that with his fame and his money, he can get away with getting away with more on Twitch and breaking TOS. And I think for the most part, he's gonna find a way to get around what a lot of us would consider taboo on Twitch, and it's gonna make him money, which kind of sucks for everybody else. I have a lot to say on this. I think he's just in it for the money.
Okay, Josh.
That's all. He's doing it for money. I think it's, yeah. Everyone said everything that needs to be said. It's money. That's all. he doesn't give two damns about Twitch or gaming or anything. I mean, you see how he made the video about Ninja, like clickbaiting the donation stuff. He just wants money. That's all. Like, it's so sad, but that's what's happening.
All right. Sorry for the technical hiccup. Josh thinks he's a funny dude and broke everything. I don't know if that's his fault.
So the whole echo went through, right?
Yeah. Everybody heard the money,
that's what's important.
and then everybody laughed, and then all of a sudden my chat was gone. All right.
Spectacular. Yeah.
So my thoughts on why Logan is on Twitch. We're just gonna keep it going, keep it rolling. My thoughts is literally just Drake was on with Ninja, and it's no secret that the Paul brothers love Drake. If you listen to any interview with Jake or Logan, pretty much when you ask them, they love rap, they love hip hop. Drake is one of Jake's bigger inspirations, so I know if Logan can sort of get to a level where celebrities would want to play games with him, I think that would be a motivating factor. I don't think it's just money. I think it's the kind of connections he can build, and that he can bring.
Buy you some better internet.
Oh,
this should
God.
cover it.
I thought I disabled the bit alert things. But thank you for the 100 bits. I think that it's not as simple as, oh, he just wants money. I think he can sort of innovate. Sort of how he innovated YouTube with his daily vlogs, and the diss tracks and stuff, and collaborating with his brother. I think that he wants to innovate Twitch if they let him. I think he wants to sort of do something else with it that we haven't seen. So whatever that is, we'll just have to see. I could be wrong, but those are my thoughts regarding him. Yeah. So any last thoughts about Logan, or any questions that you guys have before we move on to the next topic?
I have a hard time believing he cares about innovating if it doesn't go back to money.
Right. Well, obviously.
I don't think he cares about good content.
Okay, that's a fair opinion.
I have something to bounce off that. Innovation is, like, especially in the entertainment business, it's not always about the best content, but it's about the content that people eat up. And he sadly knows what people eat up. And so he might be coming here to innovate and do something that he can't, or he feels he can't do on YouTube, or isn't able to do as efficiently. Whether that's good or bad, we don't know until he does it. And that's the biggest thing. The scariest thing that he can do is, like, do some really bad stuff on IRL. Like, that's the greatest fear that I think everyone can agree on. But aside from that, if he just sits and plays video games and just, like, is an idiot, like, whatever, that's half the site, and that's okay. He just has 200,000 viewers doing it.
Okay.
Silly question.
Yeah.
Are any of you guys worried about, not necessarily, of course, like, we already know what the type of audience he's going to bring over, but essentially how Twitch is going to handle the sudden influx of people, like, because we know how everything happened with of course, like, Ninja, when Dr. Disrespect came back, Tyler 1 came back to League, and all that stuff. What do you guys think when it comes to that? You think we're gonna have some more side issues that day, or what do you think?
I don't know, because Ninja streamed with 600,000 people just fine. So it's tough to say what will happen. As far as that goes, as far as, like, server errors go. I think, as far as, like, how they're gonna handle his behavior, I don't think they're gonna turn the blind eye to him, because people are really vocal, and Twitch responds to people. They actually communicate with the people that use their website. So if people are upset, they will speak when it's appropriate. So.
And they did ban Etika.
Yeah, they did. They did, because he doesn't stop saying the N-word over and over. So if Logan does anything that clearly violates something, I don't think they're gonna factor in his size or the money. I think, though, because the new TOS says that if it's anything before the date that it was implemented, that they can't really punish him for it. Despite a lot of people wanting that, despite his actions outside the platform prior being bad. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see, you know? Alright. So, are we ready to move on to Ninja?
I would love to.
All right. I'm gonna save you for last with my question, Zeke. But yeah, as many of you know, Ninja was recently just on CNBC, Chicago NBC, where they asked him questions in regards to the business of Twitch, finances, and just the whole universe that is Twitch. Why do people watch it? Why is this something that people enjoy? It's becoming mainstream. This is so strange. The fact that it's so crowd-funded, yet it can be sustainable and it is an achievable dream. Just what he brings to the table and what sort of entertainment we are starting to consume and be a part of and all that. So I'm gonna start with the mounting on this one. If you have anything to say, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll be real, I didn't even know too much about Ninja until the whole Drake thing happened. I hadn't really followed him too much. I generally don't watch Fortnite streams unless someone I already follow is playing it. But I saw the interview and I've been trying to catch a few streams. I even watched Alobis playing when he did a stream with Drake as well. And he seems like a really cool dude and he handled himself really well. He's a really good poster boy for Twitch, in a sense. Yeah, I really like that he's on the platform. He does really well, and he definitely puts a lot of positivity. All we can see at the moment is the downsides of like YouTube, and then we see this really nice awesomeness to Twitch that's coming along, saying just a nice, genuine dude. He makes his money doing this. He gets fun doing it, and he's a cool guy, and everyone can see that. And yeah, I obviously don't know too much about Ninja, but obviously I think he was a competitive player for Halo first, and then he became a Fortnite streamer. And yeah, I definitely be watching him in the future. He's a cool guy, and definitely happy he's on the platform.
All right, Natty, I know you did say you didn't really necessarily have much to say about Ninja, but is there anything you want to say?
If Logan Paul was the face of YouTube, then Ninja is the face of Twitch, and I think that he is a remarkable role model, and he has done no wrong so far, and I really hope he continues with that. I will say, and this is not Ninja's fault, but it does sort of involve him, and it has kind of come forth because of him, is that the way these news sites were covering him, they didn't very much make it, like, they didn't go into what a Twitch Prime sub was, and they just said, you know, this guy is now making, $500,000 every month, and I'm sitting there going, like, it's all Twitch Prime, though. And the majority of these Prime accounts were created but didn't have actual cards linked to them, so next month they're going to be gone, and he's going to see a massive drop in that revenue, but they didn't cover that, so I think we're going to get a lot of younger kids thinking that they can come to Twitch now and make $500,000 a month streaming because Ninja did it. Which, don't get me wrong, I think that what Ninja does is absolutely amazing, but it's not the case. Like, he's not going to make $500,000 next month if most of those primes don't continue.
All right, Blark, thoughts?
Well, I really enjoy Ninja's content. Like, number one, he's super positive. Like, he's always like smiling and laughing, and just to have him as like at the front of Twitch right now is I think it's a really good thing. Not necessarily just for monetary gain for the entire platform, but just putting the entire website in a positive light. By going on CNBC and doing that interview, he's kind of opened the doors up to the public, to so more people even outside of people that play Fortnite are starting to learn what Twitch is. I mean, if you look at Amazon, they're starting to put Twitch Prime labels on their packages. This is like a huge thing for the entire platform, and just having a good positive figure just out in the front like that, it's such a good thing for the site, for growth, for new people coming in. And if I'm being completely honest, and I hate to tie this back to Logan Paul, but I have a feeling that this could be something that overshadows the force of Logan Paul and all those people coming into the platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ninja has that power. He has that charisma. He has that drive to constantly be better. And it's just a good thing to see. It's a really nice breath of fresh air. And I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to see what happens next, actually.
All right. So what I love about Ninja is that he sort of overcomes all of the stereotypes that gamers face He is a young, athletic-looking dude, like, what, 26 or 27 years old, married, has, like, one of the most, like, bright faces that you'll ever see. He doesn't look like that stereotypical smelly shut-in that people kind of label gamers to be. He plays shooting games, which shooting games have this stigma of, like, violence and aggression, and he is just, like, the opposite of everything that gamers are labeled as. And I think to have that as the #1 presence currently is incredibly important. And a lot of the ways he answered the questions that he was asked in his interview, he really serves as a good example for people and a great role model. And you know, I just think it's cool because he's been doing this for so long too. Like since 2011, he's been partnered on Twitch. So it's not just he got lucky and blew up. He was already big because of the work he put in, and he blew up even more because luck met opportunity, and he's just using this opportunity to do nothing but good for us. And you know, there's this clash of him being #1 and now like this it's like the devil and the angel on the left and right shoulder, like which one is Twitch gonna look at, you know, with Logan versus Ninja, if that's even gonna be a thing. But I just think it's if we have him around, I don't think Twitch is going to suffer, even if we do face some sort of hardship with other creators bringing other things to the table. All right, Josh, your thoughts?
Yeah. So, I mean, Ninja's amazing. I don't think there's really many people in the community at all that don't like Ninja. Obviously, like everyone said, fantastic face of Twitch right now, and really, for me personally, and I think for a lot of people, makes us proud to bleed purple, proud to be on Twitch and stuff, because, you know, I'm not that proud to be a YouTube creator right now in some senses. Like, every other day, it's some other, like, crazy story out of YouTube that's, like, not a good story. You know, you hear these stories about the Logan and Jake Pauls, and it's like, this isn't representative of the whole, but at the same time, like, your Pauls are, like, the face of YouTube right now, and it's just not that cool. But with Ninja as the face of Twitch, it's amazing. It's like what everyone has said. Great stream, great person, works hard, and the way he conducted himself in that interview, like I showed my mom, someone who's really, you know, disconnected with Twitch and all that kind of stuff, hasn't heard of it like before I did, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, he was talking about like going to college and like setting up your future and like making sure you have all your options, and like, you know, what did he say he did? He went to college, worked a job, did Twitch all at the same time, did all this stuff, and got to the point where he was. He made it clear that he worked hard to get to where he was. It's not like you guys are saying just like, you know, you blink, get lucky. You're like, no, he had to work hard for where he's at, to where he's at now, which is awesome. I think that's great. Echoing Natty's point, he's definitely making way more than 500,000. That's a very, very, very grossly conservative estimate. So saying 500,000, they could have said like he's at least making $1 million. Even $1 million's a little bit of a conservative estimate based off of how much he's doing on YouTube, donations, cheers, subs, all of that combined. He's, I would say, easily making $1 million. Even that is rather conservative. So I don't think that's really an issue. He's easily way past 500,000. But Ninja, fantastic. Also, his brother is Invictus, who is a Pokemon streamer, which is cool. Fun fact.
All right, last but not least, on this, Zeke has a lot to say.
All right.
Buckle up.
So, in my background, growing up, was basically raised in the competitive Halo community, which Ninja being one of, if not debatably, the best players throughout all, like many of the games, especially in Halo 3, which was, again, like that was my specialty game as well growing up. And one of the things that's really important that a lot of people haven't experienced that he did was going from the bottom to the top, going to tournaments, getting 25th and like lower and all that, and spending years from 2009 until like 2012. He did like okay in tournaments, and then it was just like a click, and it wasn't luck, it was hard work between him, his teammates, and during all that time he was finishing school or in school, working a job, was living and like helping with his, like support his family and everything too, like had his girlfriend, and just like thing after another after another. He had a lot of growing up to do too, and like that's a really big thing that a lot of people see him now, and he's grown up so much, and it's amazing to have gotten to see that, because it's inspiring to be like, you know what, if you go back and look at him, you know, he used to rage, he used to get like really upset, he used to say some bad things, you know, we've all said things and regretted and all that, but nowadays, like, he's shown you can grow up, you can become respectable, you can be responsible, and you can use the luck that you're given and the hard work that you've put in together to do the best things you can possibly do. He constantly preaches suicide awareness, anti-depression advice, like constantly throughout his stream. One of the things he talked about in his interview is each month now they're supporting an animal or pet in need. They pay for all the bills. It's a thing him and his girlfriend love doing. They just find either whether it's like a GoFundMe or they talk through charities, constant donations. They're investing not only in just his own future and the longevity, like I've talked about, of his own career, but supporting anyone around with all the things that he loves and he cares about so much in the world. And that is like the most important thing to really take in, that not only is he just doing great things for the website and all that, but for people everywhere. I've seen so many people come out and be like, my like, I forget who it was, but there was one, like the person he funded last month with their pet was in tears, because it's just like they couldn't save their dog, and like now because of him they get to keep a member of their family, and that's a huge deal. That like, that's not something you see every day. Not a lot of people who get lucky use that luck the right way, and I think that that's something to really learn from, that everyone should take from this. So definitely remember that, everybody.
All right. Any other questions or added thoughts from you guys, or anything like that? All right, cool. Moving on. Some stuff that is related to these two topics, because both of these creators that we just talked about do use YouTube a lot. Which is the way most of us found Twitch. At least it's how I found Twitch 4.5 years ago, from watching some of my favorite YouTube content creators. They just streamed on Twitch, because a lot of who I watched were gamers, and Twitch is mainly known for being a gaming website. But with stuff like this, with people like Logan coming on, I don't think it's going to be mainly known for just gaming in a few years down the line. My prediction is that it's going to be known as just a premier live streaming site, which is what Twitch was before, Justin.tv. People would just sit behind their camera and talk, but now it's becoming more than that. People are going on trips to Japan for a straight month and documenting the whole thing. So pretty much I just think it's interesting to think about. With Twitch, when we explain it to people now, we say it's this website where people play video games and people watch us play, but it's a little bit more than that, and it's going to continue to be that. So what I want to talk about is explaining Twitch to people that don't use Twitch. And then we are going to discuss like the future of Twitch and the terms of service, and just like some other stuff, such as like how Twitch communicates with its casters and viewers and stuff like that, just the whole communication aspect. And then we're going to get into how Twitch is succeeding as compared to YouTube, the whole shabam. So when somebody asks you what Twitch is, or when you explain what you do, how's the conversation usually go? This might tie into Ninja too, because they asked a lot of questions about money. So yeah, let's start with Natty.
It's gonna be a little hard for me, because for me it's gonna, like, what I kind of want to touch on is also kind of touches on the TOS in a little bit. But for me, when I think of someone who does not know how to internet, I think of my mother. I love her, but she struggles to use the Google machine. So my mom came down to visit me, and that was the #1 thing people wanted to see, was me do a live stream with my mom. So to watch her face as, you know, I open OBS and I get my Streamlabs bot going and I get everything set up, her face is just like, it goes white, because she does not understand what I'm doing. So for me, like, so she's the perfect example of someone who doesn't really know how to use the internet. And so it's very concerning to me. Like, my mom understands now after watching me, but it's so hard to explain to someone what Twitch is, because the first time I told my mom what Twitch was, I'm trying to think of how to say this because I don't want to break TOS by saying this, but she thought I was a mistress of a looter variety. So having to explain to her that, no, Mom, I play video games, like, with my top on, was probably the hardest thing. And then to have her then go, I can keep people laughing, I'm sorry. Seeing the laughter is killing me. Then to have her, you know, go to Twitch. She went to Twitch one day without going to my stream because we have it set up as a bookmark for her on her computer where she just clicks and it goes straight to my page and she doesn't have to try to navigate the site. And there was one day where she clicked on my stream but then accidentally hit the homepage button. And to watch her like go through Twitch as through these fresh eyes, because I watched her do it. I got to sit there on Skype with her screen share on and watch her like click on streams and oh that man doesn't have his shirt on, next stream, and you know, just go on and on and on. It's super interesting to see, and at the same time it's so hard to explain what Twitch is to people who don't use it. It's amazing, but it's also kind of scary because you get to those streams where, you know, the man doesn't have his shirt on and you're like, that's not all of it, I promise. But for the most part, it's very hard to explain what Twitch is to people and make it sound cohesive, because even now I'm just trying to talking about people who don't explain it and I'm stuttering. So I think I'm gonna move on from there, but I'm done. All
right. Who's laughing the least? Josh, you're not laughing too much, so we'll go to you so you can actually give a good statement.
I'm shook. I would do the echo, but I don't want to kill stream again. I'm shook. Yeah. So, I usually don't have like a really hard time describing Twitch. Like, usually people like vaguely know of it, but they just don't really use it. Like, they know what it is. They know it's like video game live streams. If it's like an older generation, they don't really know about it. Usually they know about YouTube at least. So I just describe it as, oh, it's like YouTube, but it's like real time. It's like a live stream for like video games, you know? And I mean, yeah, you know, that's that pretty much. A lot of my friends and stuff, they're very familiar with it, and you know, they're with it. They watch every once in a while, just neat. But to people that like don't use it, I just compare it to YouTube, because I mean, Twitch is really just, in the most basic of senses, it's just YouTube but real time. And yes, YouTube has live streams and Twitch has, you know, like VODs, but like you use YouTube for videos and you use Twitch for live streams, right? So that's pretty much just how I describe it. I usually don't try and like make it more complicated than it needs to be, unless they're like, you know, Natty's mom or something. But you know, yeah. Well, move on.
Clark.
Hopefully I won't have a fit this time. But anyways, I find that the worst thing that happens whenever I'm trying to explain Twitch to anyone, of course, the most common thing is that my family doesn't understand what the hell I do. Okay? They think I stay in my house all day and I don't go out because I hate the sun and I stay to myself. But no, like, it's just really hard and difficult to explain to someone, especially if you're a content creator, or heck, even if you're a user, you know, like if you're just going to watch someone stream and you're going to hang out in their chat. The biggest thing that I always try to point out is that it's a community of people, just like it would be going to, say, a sports event or anything like that, because in a way it kind of is, because you have, I guess we would call them cyber athletes that played various video games. And instead of it being, you know, watching basketball, you're watching someone play Fortnite, or you're watching someone, you know, play Pokemon or whatever. And when I find whenever I explain it in the most simplest terms, people seem to understand that. But then again, coming from a content creator standpoint too, explaining to people that I switched to this and I'm doing this full time now, the first thing that people always say is, "Oh, well, you must make a lot of money." It's like, no. I do this because of the community, and that's like the number one thing that you have to kind of explain to people is that the whole reason Twitch exists as a platform is because it's all founded on community. And the moment that it clicks, you can tell. Like, it takes a minute and it takes a while for some people. And I hate to say this, there's probably some people that'll never be able to understand Twitch. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, once it clicks, and then people get it. Like, I mean, I still know people that don't understand what the heck it is that I do, or you know, or why I watch certain streams. And there's going to be people that don't ever understand it. But I think the best thing we can do as users of Twitch is just explain it in the simplest terms and just try to make people understand.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, it's always good with this because I have to try and explain it to my dad. My dad's in his 60s, and he's always had a very hard time grasping, just even when I play games as well. Like, he worked from when he was 11, 12 years old as a paper round boy, and then he worked in the mines as well in England for a very long time. And he never really understood what I did, and it got to the point where I actually, on the last holiday, it was just me and him, and I had my laptop. I was like, right, this is Twitch, this is what I do. And I showed him. He said, right, well, why don't you just play games yourself? So I'd have to explain to him and say, well, sometimes I feel like playing them, but I like talking to the person who's there. I like seeing him play games, I like to share the experiences with him in his chat. And it started to click. It's taken over a year to get this to click with him, but it's good ground because I got him his first laptop and he would singularly type like this, like that, and type in his emails to because his brother lives in New Zealand, and it got to the point where he just got me to type it. He would give me his, just do it for me. I'm like, no, you have to learn. Like, so it's not just a grasp of that, but also just technology as a whole for him. And in regards to, as well, to what Nadi said, I have constant jokes that I am some kind of male show on the internet. I close my blinds, I turn my lights on, and I'm not wearing my clothes. That's exactly what my girlfriend family think I'm doing all the time. And it's every single time they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm playing games." Are you sure you're playing games? No. Right. Oh, I'm done.
TOS.
Oh, I gotta talk.
Okay, buddy. Nice. Mounting. If you're gonna keep
I think you're on the wrong site, buddy.
Oh man, I'm crying.
All right. Cry with your mic muted. Seek.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm calming down, so we're good. Alright, so I've been very fortunate to be raised by my parents who are very progressive, especially with technology. I kind of went up the whole spectrum, even though it's just the simple idea of internet. I had crappy DSL. I listened to the DSL like AOL sound. I went from the bottom up, dropped down, back up again. Here we are at fiber internet, and like I had to learn too growing up. That was a big thing that helped me, I guess, in being able to explain to other people that are even younger people who don't understand like what is Twitch, why do you use that instead of just using YouTube, or adults or like even like my girlfriend's family being like, you teach people how to play video games, like what are you doing? And especially like my career and like what I do full time is esports coaching for Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. That is what I do completely full time right now, thanks to Patreon and my Twitch and all my students. It's an amazing thing that I didn't believe I'd ever get to do full time, and thankfully it's been an amazing opportunity for the past year or two now, and I hope it continues. And one of the things that's really hard is talking people into what it is that you do and making it sound like you actually know what you're talking about, whether it's teaching people how to do things or just the concept of the idea of Twitch. And so one of the things that I always say with Twitch is like, you ever go and watch a video and imagine like, what if you could see this person react like in that moment? And how much funnier that would be, instead of being like, oh, they edited that and they make it funnier and everything. But seeing that live reaction of something, and like especially like that was a big fad at one point on YouTube, was like reaction videos, and seeing that unedited, unfiltered, like, oh my god, like they're actually crying from laughter right now stuff, or like that really just happened to them in that game, that was real. And so those kinds of experiences are something that happens on every single stream, 24 hours, 7 days a week on Twitch. And that is one of the biggest things that I sell to people, that like, you can find anyone streaming any game almost that you like, and something stupid or something funny will happen, or they'll make a joke or whatever, and it's entertainment. It's like a comedy show and a video game put together. Sometimes it's better even when they're not funny. And that's my stream. And that's a really big thing, like kind of figuring out what they like, and especially in that aspect, and making it make sense to them, taking something they understand and filtering the idea of what Twitch is kind of putting it together. That's kind of how I try to do it.
All right. One thing that I am like realizing more and more is that Twitch is just its own culture, and to just draw an analogy to any other form of entertainment is that the kind of people that enjoy Twitch and like Twitch are just like any other kind of person, but it's just so hard to explain it, because there is no simple way to explain it, because there is something for everybody. But as far as making that stand out goes, it's really hard. You know, I guarantee you, any person ever, if they clicked on the right stream on the right day, it would pique their curiosity, and they would want to dig deeper and go for something else. You know, the way I found YouTube is because my friend showed me two guys lip syncing the Pokemon theme song, and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like, I wonder what else is on here, and it evolves into so much more the more you click on, and that's what Twitch is too. You know, with us, most of us, we just kind of like want to go live and play a game and talk with our chat. Somebody else wants to put on a show and, you know, like just act like the best player in the world and play for thousands of people and doesn't talk to their chat once, and it's a presentation. It's not a tight-knit community. You know, everybody's here for different reasons, and that's what I think makes it very challenging for me, at least, to explain to people. So one thing, whenever I have conversations with people and they ask like, oh, what do you do? What are you up to? Like, even when I was getting my hair dyed today, when she asked, what do you do? I just said I work for Amazon, and just kind of left it at that. Because that's a validating thing right there, as a creator at least, to have a big, well-known company kind of owning this. That's sort of my perspective on it. So, yeah. Any other thoughts, questions, things to add on? No? Okay. Alright. The next thing I want to brush on that makes Twitch so special is the terms of service. We recently saw a change to them. Twitch will take action based on what you do on and off the site as a creator, which is really good news for most of us, because, you know, we're all good people. I'd like to think. It does like scare a lot of people, because some people do have edgy kinds of humor, words in their vocabulary that they should get rid of, that they refuse to. Some sort of jokes, now you have to sort of state the context of them before you make them, like all that. It's really good. It's really interesting. So we're gonna start with Josh. Thoughts on this? How has it impacted you? What kind of changes have you seen, or have you needed to make any changes?
Not really. I think they really emphasized both in like the emails and the presentations and all that, is it's context. Like, I think that's really good. You know, it's they're just trying to get rid of the bad guys. That's all they're trying to do. They're letting us keep our gasm emotes and our lewd emotes and the lewd jokes and stuff. And I mean, every once in a while, like, you know, I'll make a joke like really emphasizing that it's a joke sort of thing, in case, you know, you get clipped out of context. So it's like half joke, but kind of like, you know, like, please don't kill me, Twitch. But I think at the end of the day, you know, every case is going to be reviewed by a team, and they're going to look at the context, and they're doing a one and done with this. There are no like warnings. Like, if you screw up, you're gone. So they're not going to take these cases lightly. They're going to review them, and they're going to see the context. And if you're just fooling around, whatever, like, I haven't heard a single bad story, given hasn't been out for too long. But, you know, the initial backlash was only until they said context, because everyone was like, I want my buddy emotes and my loot emotes. Like, yeah, we want them, you know, but we can still have them. We can still have our freedom of expression to the degree, can't talk today. The freedom of expression to the degree that we want it. And I mean, yeah, it hasn't been too drastic in a good way. They're just trying to get rid of the bad guys, and I like it. Good stuff, Twitch.
All right, Zeke.
All right. So TOS is the great thing. People who are good, you know, only more good comes from that, especially quality of chat. That's a really big thing that I think is really important. There are a lot of people I know who are disappointed because they're a little more on the toxic end of the spectrum, and you know, that's the world we live in. Society is moving forward. You gotta grow up, and everyone has to do it, and it's time. Twitch isn't gonna wait for you to grow up, and that's really the big thing. So I think it's really, really good. The hardest thing is just when you get these big chats with lots and lots of people. You look at like Overwatch League, and you look at like League of Legends, and you look at Dota 2 and CSGO, and it's just like nothing's changed still, because it's so hard to actually change anything about those chats. It gets so out of control so fast. And it's good to see that they are taking a good step forward in especially changing the quality of the streams, in hopes that that will help, again, like I've mentioned earlier, it's like influencing people to kind of grow up too. That's really a big thing. A lot of things that people say on the internet is things they've heard somebody else say or do, and all that stuff. And so hopefully that is a good direction we're moving in, and we can keep riding that and having more people like Ninja who are positive and have good emotes and have good jokes and everything, and are really good about creating the context. You look at like Ninja, you look at like Trihex, and like even Trihex, he'll like make fun of like things or like weird stuff like out of context sometimes. But like one of the funniest things that I've seen him make fun of is like flat earthers, and he'll just like go off on this whole tangent and play like a role of like, instead of a flat earth, there's a donut earth, and like have an image pop up, and you're just like, this is so beyond obscure and ridiculous that you have to know it's a joke. And like learning to kind of play the character but also create the scenario that you're not going to get taken out of context and get blasted for it, that's a skill you have to learn how to do, because you're on camera, you're being recorded, and you're on a website that you can get in trouble for saying something really bad on. So you have to kind of do the right things in the right ways, and if you got to change what you're doing, then there's no other way to do it. You got to change, and that's kind of what I believe. Yeah.
All right, Natty.
I'm all for the TOS update. I absolutely love it. I think that if you were already being a good content creator, I shouldn't say good content creator, but if you were already following the base TOS we had before, the new TOS doesn't even affect you, honestly. I think that the new TOS just gets rid of the worst of the worst. Like I said earlier, like I got worried when my mom decided to go through Twitch on her own, because there were creators out there that I wouldn't want my mother to click on and see, and I can already see everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I think that the new TOS just got rid of the worst of it. I think that if you were already basically following the slightly more gray area TOS we had before, the new TOS does not touch you. And I think it is good that it holds people who, like I myself make a lot of lewd jokes, make a lot of crude jokes. I try not to be rude, but we're lewd, crude, but never rude. But I think it is good that every once in a while you have to catch yourself now and say, you guys, I'm just joking. Please don't do this, or please don't take what I'm saying seriously. I'm joking. And I think that the new TOS is a great thing, and I look forward to them getting rid of even more of the gray area in other areas of the TOS.
All right, mounting.
Yeah, when they first announced it, it was being described as almost the end of Twitch streaming itself. You can never make a joke or you'll get banned. If you make a slightly rude joke, or you get a booty emote or a lewd thing, we're gonna lose it all. And then when I did, I was concerned, but I thought it's fine. I run a fairly PG stream anyway. I make the odd lewd joke, and that's about it. And then when they did the video and they showed it's all about context, it definitely put my worries away, because I wasn't concerned at all. It wasn't anywhere at me, as Natty said. If I already followed the base TOS, I had nothing to worry about. It's all about context, and yeah, it's a good thing. I'm glad they're making steps, because I used to really hate it. I used to go, oh, someone's playing this game, cool, and then I'd see at the top, I'd see this person, and I'd see like a list of donos for the shots, and I'd be like, oh, this is. It's not so much that not that I don't want to see it or anything like that. I should stop people from seeing what they want to see, but it's like it draws the attention away from a lot of other good casters, and it does a lot of people discredit. And so this new thing is really good. They've kind of put they've left it vague in the sense that it's all about context. So they've drawn a clear line now and say, right, well, if you cross this line, you get this ban, and if you do it again, you get this ban. And finally, because it's like YouTube can be very vague with things. You think, well, where's the line? Where do we draw it? And they just say, here you go. Here's a TOS. So it's really good, and definitely much better. We know where we stand. Other streamers know where they stand, and there was such an uproar when it first came out. You can't not know where it was. So yeah, I think it's nothing but good, and definitely that's what I've got to say on that.
Yeah, the main thing that I really like about it is it just gives the website a really good look. I feel like there's just this layer of protection for good people. Like we don't have to be associated with toxicity. People could all they want, because stereotypes and generalizations, they do exist. But I don't know. I think time and time again, even through these small mistakes and the hiccups and whatnot, I think Twitch really proves that they care. And I think that's important for us, especially for people that would be coming on for the first time. Even if somebody's unfamiliar with the TOS or like the changes or whatever, if somebody doesn't pay attention to that stuff, if they ever choose to, or if it ever gets brought to their attention, I think the response would be nothing but good from insiders and outsiders. And it just kind of like the way I see it is like they treat it as like a college student's behavior. You get to stay enrolled just so long as you follow the rules. You're allowed to curse, you're allowed to be your own adult and your own person, study what you want, stream what you want. Like, that's the analogy I'm making, but that's just kind of how I see it. So yeah, Lark.
Okay, so like, first of all, I think that primarily community-driven streams shouldn't be affected by this anyway, 9 times out of 10, because it's genuinely a tighter experience. It's more it's a closer kind of connection than, as I call it, the slideshow chat situation, when you go into like a big streamer's chat and it's just bam, 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 just random text everywhere. One of the big things that I constantly hear about the new TOS, and like everyone saying, oh, this is such a bad thing. This version of the terms of service is actually not too dissimilar to the one we had back in 2013 when I did my first stream. From what I've learned and from what I've looked at, and just the various iterations of the TOS that's come out over the years, it seems like back in 2013 the TOS was a little tighter. Whenever IRL and all this other stuff came out, it became a little loose, and now it's just getting back to where it was before. So it's definitely a good thing, but I think there's some people that are just like kind of blowing it up too much, because I mean, Twitch had this before. It's not anything that's new. It's just basically saying behave, like, don't do anything stupid, and I think that's a great thing. The other thing that I will say that is something that's from this new terms of service is that people seem to think that there's a lot of viewers that go into chats now and look for streamers to do something and slip up, and so they can clip it, which is why, I think it was Josh that said it, context is everything. So like, as long as we're keeping everything contextual, I don't think that there's going to be an issue. We won't have to worry about those random people that come into a stream to try to get someone in trouble, and as long as we keep doing what we're doing, we're fine. So
alrighty, anything else to add on? Any questions or thoughts or added?
Yeah, I've got one thing as well I forgot to say as well. It also blew up because of the fact that we're now accountable no longer on Twitch, on YouTube and Twitter. We're also accountable. I don't know about everyone else, but when I created my Twitch, I created Twitter for it, and I created a YouTube for it. So it's already, as far as anyone else is concerned, that's not my personal account. I don't do anything on there. I do just my stream stuff. I communicate with my communities and other streamers and network. And as far as I'm concerned, that's like my business. That's my pocket of my business. That's nothing to do with what I do personally all the time. I may share something I find funny, but that's the extent of it. And I think that was one thing that's definitely blown out of proportion. So, well, if you say something bad on Twitter, then that's it for you. As well, that's my work Twitter. If I really want to, I've got my other Twitter that I use personally with my friends that I've met from school, and that's why I keep it all separate. It's like a boundary. I do have 2 or 3 Twitter accounts on my phone. I do have 2 or 3 YouTube accounts. I only have 1 Twitch, but I have like 6 emails. You know, I keep everything separated on purpose, and that's one thing as well. I think that was definitely blown way out of proportion for that one as well.
If I may add as well, I think that a lot of especially streamers tend to forget with the new TOS is that this new TOS protects us as well, because this applies to viewers on Twitch as well. It's not just the streamers who are being held accountable to these new terms of service. If, for example, it protects us from a lot of trolls. It really does. If you can prove that this is this troll on Twitter and this is his Twitch, those are intermingled now. And you know, they used to be the biggest hide behind for trolls on Twitch would be like, well, I didn't say it on the website, so they cannot get mad at me on Twitch for it. But now they can. What you as a viewer do off of Twitch is now affected by what you do off of Twitch, if that makes sense. It gives us a layer of protection as well.
All right. Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of questions in chat too about like, oh, what about viewers? What about toxic chats? I think the main thing is if you see something wrong, just report it. Add as much evidence as you can. Make sure you structure your report well, you know, clearly. And, you know, let others know, make people aware. They can't do everything. There's way too much traffic on this website to just immediately drop the hammer whenever something goes wrong. So it's our job and your job to, you know, make sure that you are keeping things under control to the best of your ability. And Zeke, I think you were about to say something. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna bring that up what you said, but one of the biggest things that I think is so important is one of the greatest things I think from TOS is creating a little bit of a safer space, because one of the worst things that happens in any online community, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, anything, is like flame wars, whatever else you want to call it. Going and being like, hey, all of you who like me and follow me, I hate this guy. Go flame him. And having protection from that situation is so important, because it was a serious issue on Twitch in years past, where they were like, oh, okay, we just won't flame you as much on my stream, but I'm gonna go on my Twitter and I'm gonna talk about how much I absolutely despise everything you do and like talk you down and make all my viewers think that you're an awful human being and like all that. And having a layer of protection from that situation is a really big deal, because people's lives are, you know, on the line. Like this is someone's career that people are trying to play with, and I think that's a really big deal if they're taking that seriously. And I really commend Twitch for going out of their way to do that, because they didn't have to, and that's something we should appreciate for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue. That made me. It made me think of something that is a good segue into the next topic. Is that one thing that makes Twitch so unique is that the streamers and the people watching are almost united in a sense. Like, if we aren't happy, viewers aren't happy. If the viewers aren't happy, we aren't happy, etc. It's almost like there is no show if we don't have communication with the people watching us. It's so easy to make friends with the people watching us, depending on your channel size, of course. But like, pretty much mostly every name that I see in the chat, like I know them on a personal level. Like, that's really unique to say that I know my audience personally for the most part, as opposed to, you know, if you're a YouTuber, you kind of just have people watching you that you might never know like you behind the screen. You might never know what kinds of people are watching you. You could look at your demographics and your stats and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you don't really necessarily know everything that's going on the other side, which you know, we don't know everything obviously, but there's more of a tighter knit sense, which is what's so unique. So what I want to talk about next is Twitch versus YouTube, because those are, you know, always side by side. And I think we know why. It's just a lot of people are interested in both platforms. The types of people that use this, a lot of you guys probably enjoy YouTube or found it from YouTube. A lot of people create on both. I'm just gonna go right into Josh first on this one, since he is pretty much, he's the most active on both. Natty, I know you two have a pretty good presence on YouTube, and I know a lot of you probably have interest in it as well. That's where I started with my content too, but I don't really go on it as much. So yeah, let's go, Josh.
Is this including the future of Twitch, or is that are we closing?
Yeah, no. We'll add that. Twitch versus YouTube and future of Twitch.
Okay. You know what, Natty? I'm gonna let you go first. I gotta set up my data.
All right, sure, that's fine. Yeah.
I need time to set up too, though. I have a. All right, I'll go. It's fine. As far as Twitch versus YouTube, if this was an epic battle showdown to win it all, Twitch comes out in the long run because, well, YouTube will always be the place to go if you want to upload, you know, I don't know, like a Vine or whatever compilation video. I think YouTube will always have the sort of stronger market in that, but as far as gaming goes, Twitch has totally eclipsed YouTube in every way you could. No shade to YouTube, but YouTube gaming is confusing. I click on it and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to Twitch and see who's on there. Because I can't navigate YouTube to save my life. Twitch is so user-friendly. The bigger names are always going to be on Twitch unless Twitch does something so monumentously bad that everyone leaves the site at once, which I don't think will ever happen. Twitch will always be the place to go for your gaming. It's even becoming the place to go for your blogging, for like I did my first live stream vlog while I was in Orlando, and we went to M&M World and we just connected to Twitch, and it was so fun to share the experience with people. I think that Twitch has just completely eclipsed the game in that. And as far as the future of Twitch, I honestly can see YouTube gaming shutting down and it's just Twitch taking over, because I can't see YouTube gaming being profitable at this point. Twitch has won the game. It's won.
All right, Josh, you ready?
Yeah. So, as far as Twitch versus YouTube gaming, that's easy, you know, like live stream wise. I'm someone who can go live on YouTube gaming right now, and I will probably pull 400 or 500 people. But with all due respect, YouTube gaming, hell no. No, I'm never doing that again. When I tell you, the entire chat, just very disrespectful, not nice, didn't listen to mods, didn't follow rules. It was a YouTube comment section embodied in a live chat. It was not very fun. YouTube gaming had some technical difficulties. I was forced to go back to Twitch, and I was like, oh, I missed this so much. I get a fraction of the view count on Twitch, but it's so much more worth it. Just from an interpersonal level, people are just a lot nicer. Like, way nicer. Someone who's done like a lot on both. It's the reason, I know this is going on YouTube, on my channel after, but I don't do YouTube really for the satisfaction as much of you know, like reading the comments and that sort of thing, because I'll be honest, every time I post a new video, I go to the comments and the first 10 are either completely unrelated, spam, mean, or first. I'll get, like, you know, obviously the typical like 5 first comments. I don't do it for that satisfaction really anymore. It's great to know that, you know, I do see the comments that are people sharing how much they like it and that sort of thing, and that's fantastic. But if that was my main goal, then I would just stream on Twitch. I wouldn't make YouTube videos. The reason why I do YouTube videos is because there's a stark difference between the motivation between the two. With YouTube, you make content because of the content. I love making good, innovative content, and there's a lot of things on YouTube that you just can't do on Twitch unless you just stream a video, like a media source, right? With YouTube, there's so much that you could do. You can make all these different effects, do all these different scenes, you could have a cast, all this other stuff, and put it together into something that is really, really special, which is really cool, because obviously it's like, you know, film versus theater. You can do a lot different stuff with film, and I really like the whole content aspect of it. I love editing. If you watch my P.O. Box videos, you know that I have a lot of fun editing, and a lot of those edits, pretty much all of them, I can't really do on Twitch, you know, which is something really cool and unique about YouTube. Twitch, on the other hand, gives me a lot more of that interpersonal satisfaction. So as far as Twitch versus YouTube goes, that's how a lot of people end up at Twitch and enjoy Twitch, is because of that community engagement. I just got a Twitch follow, so I hear Homer Simpson in my earbud, but you guys can't, so that's weird. But a lot of people just they watch YouTube because of the unique content, not as much for the personalities nowadays, which is really interesting. As far as the future of Twitch goes, I see it becoming not YouTube, but trends that lead us in a direction of YouTube. There are a lot more people broadcasting, and this is actually, I did a presentation on this, so I'm using this for multi-purposes here. But I'm pulling up some slides. Kev, if you could full screen me or something, that would be cool.
Sure.
So this is data up to February of this year of lifetime Twitch concurrent viewership. So the blue line, that's concurrent viewership across the entire website, and then the black line are the concurrent streams, like how many broadcasters are live right now. So you can see, obviously, Twitch has grown like a lot, especially the last like year or two. There has been explosive growth on Twitch, which is amazing. You have a lot more eyes on the website. That's why you have people coming from YouTube coming over, and that's what's led to everything that we talk about in this stream. Your Logan Pauls, your Ninjas, your Drakes, the new terms of service, all has been driven by this boom. And you can see, like, we recently passed, that is, I believe, that 10 million? I don't know. Either way, big numbers. So, with that, is this? Yes. This is the next slide here. This is really interesting. If you look at every month, the increase in concurrent viewers, this other chart here, you can see that the viewers are going up by an immense amount, but that little black line at the bottom is sneakily increasing way faster than the concurrent viewership. So if you look at the concurrent viewership at the top, it's increasing, and that's doing great. But below it, the concurrent channels per month is way higher. You could see the slope on that is much higher. And if you do the math, that is 47% growth in broadcasters in the last year, but only 23% viewership. So viewership is going up. 23% is a great growth, but that's almost 50% broadcaster growth. That is double the growth rate. That is way disproportional, and brings us to a similar situation with YouTube, where you have just this large influx of people not only watching, but even more people that want to do it. So the barrier to entry to wanting to stream is a lot higher now. They have the affiliate program, which is great, but it's a lot harder to get started on Twitch now than it was before. You have way more people coming and wanting to stream, which makes it difficult. So with that, it wouldn't surprise me. Give it 2-3 years. Let this evolve to a point where YouTube is, because whether we like it or not, YouTube is much larger than Twitch. It's just the numbers. YouTube is just immensely. It's a monster, right? Twitch is going to get to that point at some point. Oh, hello, there's a sub pipe.
Thank you guys. Everybody who is subscribing, thank you very much. That is very, very awesome of you. Just thank you for supporting the cast today. I do have alerts turned off and stuff just for the sake of keeping the show going, but yeah, special little break to say thank you.
Woo! Kevin, yeah.
All right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, give this few years to evolve, become more of a YouTube situation, if the affiliate program gets cut down, because, you know, if I'm being honest, affiliate program really isn't that special. I could, like, take a dump in a bucket for 30 days and have a few accounts set up and get Twitch affiliate. Like, it's not, the requirements are, like, they really aren't requirements. You know, you just have to stream. That's all you have to do. It's kind of like the YouTube partner program. It was for almost everyone until the past few months, right? The YouTube partner program. And they needed to cut that down. I would not be surprised to see Twitch do something similar. Give it years. Like, we're talking future, 4 or 5 years maybe. And you may get people that are going to get cut off. I think it's important for that to happen at some point, because if you have all these affiliates coming in, it's growing really fast, and that rate has only gone up. Like, it may be 50% broadcaster growth now, but that may be like 60, 70, 80% broadcaster growth. You have all these people coming in, you're gonna have even more people. So maybe they'll make it into 10 concurrent viewership or 15 concurrent viewership. I don't know what the number is gonna be, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Twitch is killing the game, growing really fast. I don't know if they'll ever overtake YouTube, because YouTube is just such a monster, and like it's used everywhere in like workplaces and schools and for educational purposes and for entertainment purposes. Like YouTube will be the standard for on-demand video for the indefinite future. But as far as live streaming goes and the popularity of live streams, this is getting really big, and it's only going to grow even faster and even more. So, yeah.
All right. Zeke, I'm going to go to you.
All right, so I got a long tangent. So we got time for Mounting to go to the bathroom. And then I can go to the bathroom after I'm done. So one of the things that I don't actually talk about a lot is I actually have a very in-depth background with YouTube as well. You know, like I mentioned, I started in Halo for like competitive esports, and that's kind of where I grew up. But eventually I broke my wrist, as you guys can see with my hand brace on, and so I cannot compete any longer in that. And I went into fighting games and lots of other things. But one of the communities that I found a place in and loved and played a very huge role in is the Minecraft community. I've been around, or was around for a very long time. I was one of the developers for what many of you know and love is Minecraft Hunger Games. I ran their first ever Hunger Games server and had a YouTube channel with my friends for that and all of that. And that was a very big thing. And learning the concept of just like influx of people and all of that, and learning how to deal with that is very complicated. And that's something that Twitch definitely is going to have to be careful about. And I think increasing the affiliate requirements will be very important, and that'll play a really big role. But the hardest part, and this is something that did hurt YouTube a lot, is that anyone can take a video. Every single person has one of these bad boys with a smartphone on it that has a camera and has access to the internet, and you can take a video of any stupid thing that you sit here and do and upload it, and anyone can watch it on any website because it's so easy to share and so easy to do, and it takes no effort. You don't have to make good content, you just have to put something up. And that's why vlogging became so popular, because all you do is buy a little camera with a decent mic on it and talk about your day, and that was it. And that was a really, really big thing. And so that was like a big influx like years ago in YouTube that hurt a lot of people, because people were too busy using their own camera instead of watching other people's videos. And something that Twitch is doing that has been very quiet, and I've been pushing for very hard, and have been helping them with bits and pieces of testing a lot of this in beta, is their uploads beta. They want to win both games. You already have access to uploading just raw files, or even just your own VODs that you edit and stuff like that, with highlights and all of that, into your upload section. And with the system now that Twitch has, where they have like the dashboard where you can see people's like announcements, or like when they go live and like all that, like being notified of all that, eventually, just like YouTube has as an option, you'll be able to notify people when you upload videos and like things like that. It's going to change the game a lot, because you'll have Twitch streamers who are live, and then their highlights videos will be also shared on Twitch, and it'll be a one-place hub for everything, with communicating with your viewers, with like the Twitch Discord, whatever thing they bought from Curse, with having the ability to have the different rooms in chat for different types of games that people like and all that, having all your VODs that people can comment on and like highlight and all of that. Like highlights is another huge thing that YouTube just doesn't have a chance at even dealing with. They can't support that on the back end to do something like that and moderate it, which is the hardest part. And so being able to figure out the fine line of allowing people to be able to do stuff as easily and succeed in doing it, and like that like barrier of entry is really hard, because you want to bring more people into the website to be like, oh hey, like I want to try to do this thing, that's really cool. And you want to give them the chance to feel like they're like, the big purpose of the affiliate program, and something they've pushed for a lot in their presentation of it, is progression, the sense of progression. That's why the achievements exist for any of you who do streaming now, is it tells you oh hey, like you're this close now, like 80% to getting this many viewers, or streaming this many times this month, and it's a sense of satisfaction. That's why achievements exist in video games. It's the same idea. And so having that idea with streaming and motivating you to keep trying at it, to keep doing that, if they slowly increase things a little bit over the next year or two, that would be perfect. As long as they don't do a drastic jump where it's like the required viewers is like 2 to 3 now, and they jump it to like 20 to 25, that's the scariest, most intimidating thing, that people will be like, that'll never happen, and they'll never try, and then it'll drop and it'll hurt them a lot. And they have to increase it slowly as their numbers are increasing slowly. So they have to kind of go with it and ride the wave, essentially. Especially with bigger names, bringing more kids and more people and everything. We just gotta kind of move in the direction of progression and making things accessible but not too accessible, because then everyone's going to do it instead of participating in the rest of the website. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I think that hurt YouTube, is that comment sections are garbage now, because anyone who likes YouTube and all of that is making their own videos instead of watching other people's videos, because they don't have the time to watch other people's videos and participate in all of that. They're either doing that or going and watching Twitch streams. And that's a really big deal. So I think Twitch is a really great future, and especially with the with Amazon buying them, and Amazon being one of the biggest powerhouses in the entire world at this point, is a great thing, and we should all embrace it. Twitch Prime is great. The way they're advertising is great, and make sure you always use your Twitch Prime for your friends and stuff, and remind them that we do appreciate that they integrate something as simple as that, as well as going to find random streamers and motivate them to keep streaming too, because the best thing that can happen is that they become successful and then they bring more people, and that's the end game, is just outreach. So playing around that, and then the ease of access is kind of the hardest part. So yeah, don't ever ask me about Minecraft. That's all I have to say.
All right, I like a lot of the points that were just brought up, such as the ease of use and the amount of people making content because they see others succeeding. I think that's really important to understand as a viewer. Like, don't get so impulsive when you're watching something that you like. Don't just think like, oh, I can do this. I think that just to tie in, those things apply to both platforms, as he was saying, like, YouTube, the really good YouTubers, like, the comment section being bad is because they're the ones making videos, with Twitch, the graph showed with, twice as many people in the website's growth are streaming instead of watching. That's really just interesting to note. And I'm just curious to see what it's going to be like with all these really big creators that are going to be coming over to Twitch. Like, what sort of production quality are we going to see? How is that going to compare to the person streaming in his bedroom versus the person, like, putting on a Hollywood production live stream in a way to, like, transition slides in their live stream, or like incorporate really cool presentations, as opposed to just like this oh, it's so easy, I'm just chilling in my room, like, playing a game, or oh, I just have my phone, I'm filming a vlog, or filming this going on today, and then uploading it. Like what sort of things are going to be noted and consumed and enjoyed, and what's going to bring in the crowdfunding, or how is ad revenue going to be for some of the bigger creators on Twitch? Like, who's going to invest in it? Like, how is money going to apply into it? So yeah. Blarg, thoughts?
Okay, so it's like raining like really hard. So I don't know if you guys can hear that. I hope not. But anyways, as far as like Twitch versus YouTube and the future of Twitch, just like overall, there's a lot of positive things that are on Twitch already. And there's actually some things that Twitch could pull from YouTube that I think could make everyone's experience a lot better. For example, if you're offline, okay, and you want, and someone just randomly stumbles on your channel through like just a link or a shout out in another stream, and they don't know what kind of content you do. Yeah, the person that shouted you out can kind of tell them what kind of content you do. But I would love the option just on Twitch to have essentially a channel trailer that you could put together, and you could have, like, certain clips from your stream that someone could watch, and I don't know, make it a minute, and that kind of explains what your channel's about, and kind of lets people know that what you do. I actually think that would be a great idea, because if you look on YouTube, a lot of YouTube channels have channel trailers, and it's like, okay, this is me, this is what I do, this is what you can expect. So I absolutely love the idea of that, and would love to be able to translate that over to Twitch. Now, going back to what Zeke was saying about how YouTube kind of had a renaissance, essentially, with everyone uploading because it was easy and they could record with their phone or whatever. Now, I know we have the ability to live stream from mobile devices already, but I will say this: when the technology gets more reliable, that being, it's easier to connect to Twitch and live stream from a mobile device, also with, mobile internet when it becomes more reliable, rather than you having to carry like a huge backpack to do an IRL stream, you know, I think that there'll be a huge influx of people just coming into Twitch anyway. So a very similar type deal. Once the technology becomes more readily available and it's cheaper and it's easier to use, there'll be more people coming. And I think that is something that we more than likely are going to see because especially if things keep going the way they're going, tying back into Ninja, being, you know, like the face of Twitch, explaining to people what Twitch is, and just kind of tying up this entire thing. Because now we have people coming from everywhere. We know CNBC interviews, you know, you got Logan Paulers coming in or whatever the hell they're called. And, you know, there's people coming in from everywhere. Amazon's advertising, and the future of Twitch is just, if they do this right, we are going to be in for a wild ride over the next few years. And that's really what I think. I mean, it's just going to be insane to kind of figure out what happens. And I'm excited.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, I've had, as I said earlier on, I've had good experiences and bad experiences with both platforms. Back many years ago, I used to like try and do Let's Plays when I was on YouTube, and yeah, you do always see the comments at the first, and a lot of the wars seemed to break out a lot more easier, the console wars and everything, and it got to the point where I just stopped looking at comments, and I still don't look at comments. It's removed the interaction away from we always put that disconnect that we have. We know our community, we know where some people live, we know where, like, what hobbies they do, what interests they have, what job they do in their spare time, what they like to do, and you don't have that in YouTube because most people just give up on YouTube comments. Like I've been called some horrible things just for saying I said I like the Nintendo Wii U, and then you get this outrage in YouTube comments where you think, I'm not doing that again. And also a key fundamental thing we took with the adpocalypse earlier on. YouTube and Twitch have different things to answer for. With Twitch pushing Prime, we don't watch adverts if you have Prime, so they're nowhere near at the mercy of these companies who pay for adverts. Instead, we've got subs, we've got Prime, we've got bits, we've got donations through PayPal. So it's a whole other thing. It's more like Twitch is way more accountable to the viewer than the advertising companies. Because I remember I never used to have Prime. I used to hate the adverts because I'd start sending a message because I want to interact with the streamer, and then bang, advert. And I'm like, I was trying to talk to him, but now I'm not going to see his response, and if I do, I'm going to have to go into the VOD of the past broadcast of this current stream and go find it. It's messy and it's horrible, and it's like it's all about obviously the community. And ever since starting on Twitch, I've had people on there who only view on weekends because they've got the work. People who view me from work. I've even got someone who's logged 2,000 hours of viewing on my channel, and you get to know these people on a personal level. I play games with them outside of streams. I watch movies with them and on movie nights, and you get to this sense of like community and knowing people, which you would never have on YouTube, or at least not to the extent. And it's such a common thing on Twitch. It's not like, oh, it's rare because it's this guy's channel. No, like most communities are really tight knit and really embracing and welcoming, and yeah, it's you can see Twitch right. Obviously, I saw the lovely graphs earlier on. You can see Twitch going on the up, and YouTube with all the stuff is going to be unfortunately going down, and there will be some things that will stay on YouTube unless they make it more accessible and easy on Twitch. So not to try and repeat what everyone else has said, but yeah, I think overall the future is good for Twitch, and I can see them bringing back, like, making the requirements a little bit harder for affiliate. Remember when they released them, I thought, well, I've been hitting that pretty much since the first month of streaming. The whole point of affiliate is just keep streaming. Just because that's the biggest thing, is keep streaming, see if you like it, because some people will just drop it easy. But by the time you get the partnership, you've done it for so long, you're not going to drop it. But affiliate, you probably would, or you still can quite easily. And yeah, that's all I've got to say on that.
One other thing I do want to point out, or make a point of in this discussion, is with YouTube, every day there is a new viral video. With Twitch, when you look at the most popular streams, you're typically looking at the same people on that what's being the most viewed at any given time slot. Like, if you look at who the most popular streamers are right now, you're probably going to see those same names tomorrow in that section as to who's the most viewed. Whereas to YouTube, it's different every day. The game is always changing with YouTube. So what I really think is important to make Twitch sustainable for people that really want to make the most on this platform is you have to really do something interesting, something that's going to catch people's attention. And if the platform's going to grow, you have to sort of bring the attention that sparks something viral. And I'm not saying that that's like, you know, that's what you have to do. You have to stand out now. That's your fast track to it. But I think, you know, I think we saw with Drake being on with Ninja, it's a luck meets opportunity kind of thing. It's something that piques a lot of interest for people. So that's sort of what brings growth to people and what brings the attention, and then how you follow up from that is really what solidifies growth. So yeah. Anything you want to add before we sort of wrap things up, or maybe do a post podcast Q&A maybe, if you guys are down for that? No. Are you guys up for maybe answering some questions? Because I saw some good stuff. Zeke?
I already wrote some questions down if you want me to start running through them.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so one of the things that I saw people discussing briefly in chat was, you know, what about the people that have worked really hard and didn't get partnered, and like how it was in the past compared to now? And I have personal experience with that. So one of the biggest things that happened in the Smash Bros community was a lot of people got partnered through connections, and, you know, I'm not going to throw names or anything like that, but a lot of people got partnered when it was just kind of, because there wasn't a clear defined way to just be like, it was like, oh, this guy's getting a bunch of views for the past 2 weeks, we'll give him a partnership because he's like a god in name in Smash community, and like that was just a thing, right? And as that started to slow down a little bit, there were a couple of us that we just had to grind, and there would be times where I was like last summer, I get hundreds of viewers day by day by day, and I submitted over and over and over, and just because there was the influx of people playing that game getting partnered, I didn't get partnered. And that was a big thing that happened in the past. But nowadays, it's focused on actually fulfilling the achievements and finding there's straight, real, defined requirements. It's not about knowing people. It's not about having any connections. It's not about just getting lucky one day and then getting your partnership. It's about consistency. It's about the raw numbers, the data, and actually proving that you deserve it. And I think that that's a really good thing nowadays. It is hard, and they have it at a good spot right now. I believe to get full partnership, I think it's at a really good spot. For certain games, it's hard, and that's just the reality. Some people don't want to watch some games, and you kind of got to go with you don't have to go and play Fortnite because you want to get viewers. But if you're gonna do something with your game, like you said, you got to be different. You got to stand out in some way, even just a little bit, and that really does help a lot. And then one thing I wanted to kind of shoot to all you guys is discussing really the differences between Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, and all that stuff, and YouTube Red, and why Twitch Prime has been so successful compared to the reason why YouTube Red hasn't. So, Josh, you probably know a lot about this, so if you want to start, I think that'd be good.
Sure, yeah. So I have both. I have YouTube Red. I wasn't gonna get it, but I got a 3-month free trial. I loved it, and I kept it. And then Amazon Prime, I have Student Prime, so it's only $50 a year. So I mean, I think it really depends on the person. Someone that watches YouTube a lot more, obviously, you know, YouTube Red's more worth it. But at the same time, Amazon Prime is so universal. If you watch Twitch a little bit, or if you order packages on Amazon, which is, you know, odds are everyone does. So like, Amazon Prime is definitely like worth it. You know, Twitch Prime, is Twitch Prime an individual? I don't even know if you could get it without Amazon Prime. Is that a thing? It's like $5 a month or something? No, it's just. So yeah, you have to get through.
Prime. Yeah, because they want you to get the full package of Amazon Prime, Amazon Music, Amazon Video, or shipping, and Twitch Prime. So go ahead.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy both, and I think I mean, even objectively speaking, like, Amazon Prime is just more worth it. Like, you get $60 worth of subs out of it. Especially if you have Student Prime, it's way worth it because you're saving $10 just on the subs, let alone just shipping, you know, on like, you know, the free 2-day and all that kind of stuff. But YouTube Red is very well worth it if you watch a good amount of YouTube and you actually want to support the creator while not watching ads, because you know doing ad block is really, really bad, and don't do it on YouTube, please. 80% of my views are ad blocked. Fun fact, numbers. It was bad, still is bad. YouTube Red actually does support the creator a little bit more, not by much, but you do get more revenue to the creator if you have YouTube Red. So it's a good way of supporting. You get less recognition for it because it's like you don't tell everyone, oh, I have YouTube Red, but like Prime, you get a badge, you get a free sub. Like everyone knows you have Prime. You know, it's like that's just a thing. But Amazon Prime, yeah, definitely like over YouTube Red. But YouTube Red is very well worth it. Get the trial if you want to try it out. It's good. Once you go back after, you're like, crap, I hate ads. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Alrighty. I did want to touch on the question regarding like, oh, partnership, blah blah blah. I think that one thing that's important to understand about it is what's really cool. They really make it clear what you need to do, and they treat it kind of professionally with the application thing. Like you have to have a really well structured application, so you need to show that you're serious about it. You can't just be like this person that went live and got lucky. Like you sort of have to show your dedication and show that you truly want it. Whereas to YouTube, you can sort of grow by a stroke of luck. If you just made a video for fun and then the right person saw it and like thought it was funny, it can blow up. So I think that's sort of something that you have to understand. What you get out of it is what you put into it. So, were there any other questions you guys saw that you want to answer? Or is there anybody in chat that has any other questions in relation to anything we discussed today? Or scroll through. Raids, thoughts. Any of you want to touch on that? We'll go to mounting because Zeke, you just went on a long thing. So.
I really like the raid system. The stats for both raiding and hosts has always been off for a while, but one thing I like about raiding is that when you start the raid, it automatically puts you in now. So if you're lurking or you don't have to click anything at all, it immediately puts you in their channel. You're not viewing it through someone else's host in their window. You're directly in that channel, and people know they're in there. They can easily opt out of it, and instead of like force people to click on, which most people don't want to do, they're now going, okay, you're here, you're in the channel, say hello, and it's great. And I love raids personally because you can actually, you notice a difference. I think when you've been hosted for X amount of viewers and you've been raided, say for the same amount, you know, it's a big difference because with hosts, usually half of it isn't actually there, or the numbers are too low or too high. And with raids, you know exactly who's coming in. You see the community. Everyone else knows. I'm not always a fan of it advertising the numbers for people. Sometimes I think it should value the raid for being a raid, and not so much X amount of numbers. But it's really cool, and I really like the raid system personally. I've done it a few times. I keep forgetting to do it because I also need to create alerts for it because I'm too lazy. But yeah, that's what I've got to say on that.
All right. Did any of you want to add on to that, or did you want to maybe address Nanua's question before we? All right. So Nanua asks, what's your opinion on path to partnership, to push for it or to just do your thing until you reach the requirements? I think all of us are going to have something to say about this, so I'll just start. One thing that I do really like is that it removes the smaller streamer mindset of entitlement, which is, you know, oh, I get 40 viewers, but I have 200,000 total channel views, and, you know, a lot of people say I deserve it, therefore Twitch should partner me, which is a horrible way to think, and I think that the achievement system gets rid of entitlement from people that feel they deserve it, that are not quite there yet. It doesn't entirely get rid of it, but I think it just kind of clearly shows, all right, this is where I need to be, and these are the steps I'm gonna take. The one thing I don't like about it is that it creates this mentality also that numbers equals success. It makes numbers much more of a validating factor than they've ever been, I feel like, kind of. But it's not like it wasn't that way before, you know? I think that creators, kind of all of us, have gotten caught up in the whole, oh, well, I have this many people watching me today, and I didn't have this much yesterday, which equals this. So, yeah, that's my perspective on the whole thing. All right. I see Blarg aggressively moving his head, so we'll go to you next on this.
Okay, I just want to speak up and say that I used to be one of those people.
We all were. Let's be fair. we all have been, and we all were.
Like, I was one of those people that just, you know, I was like, I had a sheet over my eyes, dude, and I was like, I could only see just like so far in front of me, you know. And I'm telling you, I don't know what happened. All I know was over the past couple months, I've started to bang everything out. I made sure I was live all the time, and I just continued to show up and do my thing. Once I started hiding my viewer count, I stopped really worrying, and then I started checking it after stream. Okay, that was the biggest thing for me. I used to check it all the time. Okay, I had to find myself and get into that mentality that, you know what, if it happens, it's going to happen. There's no sense in worrying about it. There's no sense in stressing over it. And I think that because I haven't worried about it, it's kind of made me more relaxed and feel more at home whenever I do stream, and I am, you know, kind of working towards this goal. And yeah, I think it's just, it's about your mentality as a creator, rather than, you know, oh, hey, I have this many numbers. If I don't have this many numbers tomorrow, my average is going to go down, you know, like that kind of thing. And I think, like exactly what you said, Kevin, a lot of people get hung up on that. And I don't want to be that kind of person that gets hung up on numbers. I want to focus on the community and what's actually happening in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because people can tell when they watch your stream if you're worrying about something or if you're focused on something else. And then at the end of that, you know, because of that, there's a lot of people that'll leave, or, you know, they'll head out for the night, because you got to be having a good time whenever you're streaming, or be entertaining, because if you're not, you know. And I feel like it's just the whole mentality thing and really working towards it. And I learned that very recently. You know, it's just, man, if I wish I'd known this a while back. I wish I'd listened to other people sooner, because, you know, whatever. Hindsight's 20/20, right?
All right. Yeah, implementing that is all easier said than done, but good stuff, Blarg. Mounting.
Yeah, I just want to kind of like reaffirm what Blarg said too. Like, definitely, it's a really hard thing to look away from the numbers. Like, the achievement system, as all the things it does right, it also gives you a direct thing to aim for, and it can. Well, I love achievements. I think they're the best thing ever, and I really wish my Switch would have achievements. Just please, Nintendo. But yeah, I found that recently. I went away. I went snowboarding for a week, and while I was away, I was like thinking a lot about my stream, because I would often let new viewers like bully me into what games to play, and I would think, okay, I'll play it, and I wouldn't enjoy myself. I don't know about anyone else, but I really suck at faking happiness. If I'm not happy, you can see it. And then I was playing Ratchet and Clank, because it was free on PSN Plus, and I was having such a fun time on it. I just didn't look at any of my view counts or anything. And I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy the game and have fun with it. And it was like the best stream I'd ever had. And in terms of viewership, it was definitely worse than some other one, because it was a game that not so many people watch or whatever. But I had way more fun. And if I had 100 streams like that where I'm enjoying it, I could ensure like I would keep doing it. But if I played a game I didn't like, I'm 2 hours in the stream, I'm thinking, it's only been 2 hours? I'm gonna be here for like 6. Like, what's going on? So yeah, definitely hiding the view count. I still haven't done it. I'm just terrible, because my bot shows me, and I need to do that more. But yeah, that's definitely a key thing. And yeah, having a set thing to focus on is good, but I also see the downsides in which I number watch way too much. But it's definitely something I can work on personally. And yeah, hindsight is 2020. As Blark said, it's quite literal. But yeah.
All right, Zeke.
So as I mentioned before, you know, a really big thing is the frustration of being like, I feel like I'm getting enough numbers. Oh my god, like this sucks and everything. And it is really, really upsetting to be like, wow, like I see people who get worse or like worse numbers than me or whatever and all that and get so caught up in that, as well as just the obsession, like literal obsession over how many people are watching your stream at that time, and using that as some sort of validation for what you're doing and all that is really bad. One of the best things I tell everybody who wants to get into YouTube or streaming or anything, you're doing it because it's fun, not because you care about how many people are watching or what it is. Learning how to talk and like do things when there's nobody watching is one of the hardest skills to learn. When you have nothing to base off of or anything, no feedback, you just gotta talk. That's the hardest thing to learn. And once you can do that, once you just naturally can either entertain yourself and make just whatever you're doing more fun because of that too, you'll get more people and all of that will come together. And that is like one of the biggest things is like hiding that viewer count. I peak all the time and I'm like, oh, that's so lame, and immediately it affects my mood and it's so bad. You can't peek, you can't look. Minimize the bot. On Streamlabs OBS, there's a button that lets you hide viewership because they know how important it is to do. It lets you do it. Everybody click it all the time. Don't look at who's watching your stream. Don't ever look at viewer lists. Don't ever do that. It is the worst thing to do. Don't ever call lurkers or anything. Just let people exist. Tell them you appreciate them for whoever's there, if there even is anyone there, and have fun playing or doing whatever the hell it is you're doing on stream. Because the minute you focus on the whatever it is and who it is that's there, everything's just gonna drop in quality because you're so self-conscious and you're so nervous and all that if you just focus on playing whatever stupid game and doing whatever stupid thing you're doing, it'll be so much more fun and more people will care about it because that's really you. It's not your anxiety and your self-confidence or anything about that. It's you doing the thing that you love and that you enjoy, whatever it is. And that is why people come to your stream. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Natty.
First of all, thank you to my community who's here, who's laughing at me for actually managing to stay silent for once. Love you guys. One of the parts of that question were, how do we feel about partnership pushes? Obviously, I'm someone who's done a partnership push, and I have such a love-hate relationship with that time of my life, because clearly, it worked. I am now a Twitch partner, and I am extremely grateful for that every single day. But I can tell you guys right now that there was a time during that push that I absolutely hated the content I was creating. I was streaming nothing but what was my most popular game constantly over and over and over and over, and there was no break in between because I wanted those numbers and I had to keep those numbers up, and I was so burnt out. By the end of that push, I laid in my bed and I just sat there. I said, like, I don't want to touch a Pokemon game for a month. I was done. I burnt myself completely out, and I can safely say that if that push had failed, I wouldn't have done another one, because I'm far more happy streaming variety and Overwatch, and Kev's just like me. I'm far more happy just playing the games that I love. Like it's to the point now where obviously I don't check my numbers while I'm streaming. I make sure that my OBS sits over that number so I can't see it. I'm like, no. But I do check my numbers after the stream, and I'm sitting there and I got to the point where I realized I'm happier playing a game to 10 people with a dead chat than I am playing a game to 100 people with an active chat. I think at the end of the day, you just have to be conscious of what makes you happy. And obviously, you don't want to let your fans down. That's another one that really gets you, is you don't want to let people down. Because, you know, there are people who followed you for that content, so you do come back to it. But I think that by introducing variety and giving me stuff to give me a break from what has become my main content is what keeps me able to do my main content, because I get that break and then I come back a couple days later, I'm like, this is fun again. Whereas when you're doing it every day, it's just like, I'm done. This is, I can't, no more circles, no more shiny hunting. I don't want to look at another Tapu Lele in a battle. Like, I'm done. It's just, I'm done. Okay, sorry.
All right, Josh.
Hello. So I believe the original question was about, like, now that there are achievements, like how to go about, like, path to, like, pushing that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, overall thoughts, like anything contributing to the discussion, pretty much.
Okay, yeah. So, as far as actually pushing for partnership, I think it's really, really important to have a plan. You shouldn't just say, guys, partnership grinds. Like, you gotta have a game plan. You gotta know what are you gonna do to get the partnership, right? A lot of people just go in blind and are like, hey, leave up lurk tabs and everything will be gung-ho. And those are the people that don't get partnered because they don't really have a game plan. You gotta have an idea of how you're gonna get to that point. And you want to be, excuse me, you want to have some sort of a baseline for why. Like, for example, I did a stream in early July. Before that, I was getting like maybe like 60s or like 50s, 60s with shiny hunting, and I did a randomizer stream that got like 170 because I brought in YouTube. So of course, YouTube was a part of my strategy. I was like, okay, this is my baseline. I can work from this and bring in people, interact with them, do the whole, Twitch thing, whatever, right? Just run a good stream, and you gotta have a plan, right? Because other streams wouldn't get as good of numbers. You gotta be ready for that. And if you're not, then you gotta look in the mirror and say like, okay, what do I do next to make myself better? What do I do to make better content? How do I reach my community better? How do I communicate my message and my content better? As far as when you should do it, you shouldn't be, you shouldn't push yourself. You shouldn't partnership push yourself to the guideline. You should be pushing past that. Like if you're at like 50s, 60s, like it's probably not a good time to do a partnership push, because then you're going to push yourself to maybe like 73, 74, but it may not be enough. If you're reaching like low 70s, then you could push your community, push yourself to that limit. As far as achievements go and all of that, I think it's great. I had to wait because they were transitioning. I had to wait a month to hear back from them after pushing for a month. So pretty much I had 2 months of effective partnership grind and it was crazy. It's really good that they have that. It's a tangible sort of it's a goal that you can reach. So aim for that goal, reach for that goal if you really want it, but don't let it consume you, because it can become obsessive and it can consume you mentally and physically. So don't drive yourself crazy about it. I'm so grateful for my Twitch partnership, but it's not, the magnitude of Twitch partnership is not equivalent to the mental and physical stress that some people, including myself, go through for it. It's awesome. It's great. It provides you a lot of awesome tools and opportunities, but don't drive yourself crazy over it. It's not worth it above all else. And then if you do that, then the good content will follow from that. Follow the achievements and you can do it. And if you don't get on your first try or second try or whatever it may be, think to yourself, what do I do better next time? It's not about asking people to support more. It's about going back to the drawing board and being like, okay, do what Kev did. Do these really long streams with like the sleep blocks. They did really well. That's what pushed him past that limit, because he did really good content and that got him partnered. I did random morning trade battles and randomizers. That got me partnered. You got to have that special thing that you could do really good, better than anyone else, to get you that partnership. So keep that in mind and don't drive yourself crazy, please. It's not worth the stress. Hide the viewer count. Everyone's been saying that. It's important.
All right. Just for the sake of time, I do know we could talk about a lot of things forever. We could be here for probably 2 straight weeks just talking about Twitch, talking about relevant topics, etc., etc. But I think this is a good place to end. So if there's anything you missed, if you are just coming in, or if you came in late, or if you only saw the notification after a crash or something, please do go watch the 3 total VODs, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just thank you to Josh for uploading this. We're gonna figure out how to get that going and whatnot.
Follow Kev.
So yeah. Sorry if anything felt scattered. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. If there are any more questions, just make sure you look at these names and follow everybody and ask them individually in their casts when they're live. Or maybe come to our Twitters and like DM one of us or just add us or something like that. Because we could go on forever and ever. And I just want to say thank you everybody for being respectful of each other, whether you agree or disagree, in the chat. On the stream between us 6, I think it's really, really cool. There was just something in my heart that was like, yo, I gotta hold a podcast. I view them. I listen to H3 all the time, and I hear people exchanging thoughts and stuff, and I just really wanted to do that. So I'm thinking, I had a thought, alliteration. I love it. Tuesdays at 2 is what I'm gonna be doing every week or every other week from now on is going to be my thing. So you're going to see people returning. You're going to see new people every now and then. You might just see like a Twitch Treehouse exclusive thing at some point. But yeah, this was really cool. I think we're just kind of... Do we raid somebody after this, or do we just kind of like let it auto host or something? Do you guys want to raid?
Raid Ninja.
Raid Ninja.
Raid, yo.
Let's find someone. Let's
is
find
Ninja
someone.
alive right
Yeah.
Let's find someone and just like drop them a bunch of views. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
can see if I got someone that I'm following. You know, it's good to throw the love around.
yeah, absolutely. So then I don't want to like click out because I have a
Twitch is
display
messing up. I
capture
can't see my
going.
following. Oh, we're good now. Okay, so.
What do you guys think about that?
I agree.
Yeah, we could do that. That's fine.
Who?
Look at the
Discord chat.
I like it.
I have to look on my phone because I have this like all.
Or as they would say, let's go!
Let's go.
All right. Cool. We have a great broadcaster for you guys to go to. Then he is doing a Pokemon speedrun. You guys probably, if any of you follow any of us, would be very familiar with him. He's pretty awesome. The message is I think for satire purposes, I want it to be. Hold on.
Hashtag Bogang. No.
I was actually I was thinking, hey, what up, Logan? How about we just we say
Let's go.
we should do let's go. The thing that Joker
Let's go.
said.
Let's go.
Let's go!
We're gonna raid Pulse Effects. I'll see you guys all over there. He's very talkative too, so like ask him any questions you want. He does a good job of keeping gameplay and chat flow going. So
Oh, poor Pulse is now just gonna get like.
I'll see you guys
Can't wait.
all over there, and yeah. Peace
I
out,
love
guys.
you.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.